Okay. All right, so with fronts out of the way, I'm gonna get to work on the back. And like I said, I'm doing calipers, pads, rotors, lines, everything. So I'm just gonna start by uncracking that line right there and just gonna let it gravity bleed out. And with the line open, compressing on this piston helps push a bunch of the fluid out of the caliper so it doesn't drain all over the place on me when I pull it off. All right, I am replacing the entire caliper, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to work on this top 18 right here. Just as a reminder, if you're just doing pads, you need to go after this other guy right here, and that way you can open up the brake caliper like clamshell and do the pads. If you're doing rotors, you got to take this guy off anyway. I'm doing all of the above, so I'm taking them off. Okay, got Mr. Upper Caliper holder bolt loose. Got him out right there. Put him aside. Okay, so I got the upper caliper 18 millimeter loose, but the caliper doesn't want to move, which leads me to believe that the brake shoes are engaged. So this guy's a 12. This guy right here, the caliper pin is a 12 in the back. Thank God it's not one of those stupid Torx things like it is in the front. Go ahead and get him free. And then, as you can see, the clamshell will open up like this. Like that. Let that finish draining. I can get some pads out here. What the heck did I just do? These pads out. Oh yeah. All right, and I should have, well, probably gonna take, I think my next move is take the other caliper pin out, get the caliper completely removed, and then get the bracket off. Should be fairly easy. All right, so that is what it looks like with the caliper off, right, like that, and that gives me fairly easy access to the last 18 that I need to get this caliper bracket off so that I can get my rotor off, etc., etc., etc. And with the last 18 off, the guy who went right there, this bracket comes off. And now, zip, 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 zip. This guy should come off. Can you do it with one hand? That is the question. Ooh, one-handed. There he is. I'll put him down. There he is. There he is right there. And this is what you're left with. Here's what he looks like. I'm going to be doing a little bit of cleaning up. You got to hit this with a bunch of brake cleaner so that you don't get dust all up everywhere. But I'm going to hit this with some brake cleaner, and I'm going to clean up the studs, clean up surfaces, and basically do some scrubbing for a little bit. And then, let's see here, somewhere is a little thingy. There he is right there, that holds on the parking brake. This is the parking brake guy right here. So we'll be taking him off and replacing him. And cleaning everything up. All right, I'm gonna go get some brake cleaner. All right, so you don't need to do this if you're not doing your parking brake ring thing, but there's a little bracket in here, 8 millimeter. There it is. Oof. Can you see in here? Want me to? The other one was up higher. So here he That's what he looks like. Can you focus on that? That's what he looks like, so we're going to save him. And now, I'm going to wear gloves. If you line it up the right way, like get one of these guys out the front, like so. It comes off like that. There is Mr. Brakey thing. So, with all this stuff off, wow.
You need a new can of that.
I do. I have a new can of that over on the workbench. Oh, you see the mask? Always wear a mask when you're messing with brake stuff. Just like that. I just went and it went right on. Like that. Okay, now I gotta get down to the ground. All right, so the new emergency brake thingy came with a new holder. So if you would come over here, Robbie, and I've got to get this lined up with this. Oh, I think I need gloves again because I'm working with the sharp things again. Still rolling? Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's that. There, that one's on, and this one needs to be turned to fall into place. Another 1/8 of a turn. There it is. All right, so now both of them are in place. Now, I need to put the little do-jig in place. This guy. How about now?
No, I can zoom in.
Turn him. Do you need it closer? And find Mr. 8mm. All right, now let's just get this guy up in here.
You're on it.
You're on it?
Yes, you're on it.
Okay, so now it is time for the rotor. So I think you're sitting on it.
Yeah.
All right, so these rotors, I mentioned this in the front, just in case you didn't see that in the front. These rotors come in a nice, I think they give them some sort of oily bath so that they stay nice and pretty and don't rust. So we're gonna have to get that oily bath off. So, brake clean. And you're gonna want to do both sides. Like so. I'm also gonna hit these pads over here, just in case. Like so. All right. Now this baby's ready to go on. Or should we mess with the hose first? I'm not sure which. Let's see what we got here.
Go.
There's that. All right, so now with the emergency brake on there, you should feel just a little bit of resistance, and I don't feel any resistance. So I'm gonna make a parking brake adjustment. It's pushing the little piston out a little bit. So if it's pushing the piston out a little bit, it should be causing more friction. I think that's the end of the line. So let's see if we got resistance. got so much resistance I can't even put it on. So we know we're going the right way. We just got to back it off some. All right, so it's about halfway back. Oh, that's a lot of resistance. So, about 3/4 of the way back to where we were. A little bit of resistance. I think that'll do. So I'm happy with that. Now, I'm taking him off so that I have easier access to this brake line in the back. And I want to get up off this cold, cold, cold floor. All right, we forgot to record it. But next thing we did was we're going to take this brake line off back here. It was just a matter of that 9/16 needed to come undone from this guy right here. And he just pops right out. There is a bracket on it. Fairly straightforward. The bracket just pops out. But he comes out like this. I'm going to clean him up over there. And here's the... Oh, save the banjo bolt. Save the banjo bolt. And replace the copper crush washers. Definitely. Alright, we scrubbed on that baby for a while. And she's as good as new. So hopefully this next braided stainless steel line will not cause us the same frustration as the front. But I'm fixing to go get it now. Here she is. Let's see how it works. Oh, this light's totally in my way. I gotta get this out of the way. All right, you can kill it. All right, so these are not guide pins. These are caliper mounting bracket bolts. Rear 1500. Oh my God, 148. Woof. All right, so we got our rotor on there, and now we're gonna go after our caliper. Always a good idea to do the lower one first, because if you do the upper one first, you might not be able to find the lower one later. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
I just do. Lessons learned. So I got Loctite on this puppy. I'm gonna get him on finger tight. I'm gonna make sure I can get the top one on.
Morning.
So we cleaned our bolts. Did I mention earlier we cleaned our bolts?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so yeah, we cleaned the bolts real good. I mean, real good.
Actually, I don't think you did.
Oh, okay, so anyhow, earlier we cleaned them real good. And I Loctited it with blue Loctite.
Not red.
Not red. Red's permanent. You don't want to, I don't think you'd want to do poem in it. And these are going to be torqued down at a wonderful 148 foot-pounds, which I'm looking forward to. Mm-hmm. I'm on 148 foot-pounds. Where are you? There it is. Holy crap. There's 148 foot-pounds. Yeah. Okay. I already did the bottom one. Gets easier from here. I got a 16 on the inside.
Hey, third try.
Huh?
I said third try.
Third try. I got a 16 on the outside. Excuse me, 16 on the inside. And a 12 on the outside. I'm going to take this guide pin out and load this baby up with some brake shoes.
What? Is that like Loctite?
Yeah, but it's not what I was expecting. Oh well.
Weren't you expect?
I was expecting something to go all the way across.
Yeah, like the big long golden thing from the
Yeah, like that.
last one.
All right, so let's not lose him. I'm gonna use the old brake pad to smush the pistons in as much as I can. Just try to make it get, try to make it easier. So that's that. Alrighty. Now we got a guide pin here. I'm missing one up here, but I've got like 15,000 of them with the great brake calipers. I think. I hope. All right, you can turn it off because I'm... All right. Cameraman had to go to bed, so I'm all on my own now. All right, a little bit of grease. tab here. A little bit of grease on the tab here. Grease on the pin. And here. Let's see what we got here. You are this side. A little bit of grease over her. All right. Yeah, a little bit of grease. There. Oh, there. There. Dookie dookie. Probably be in the way for this one. Boom. Easy as that. A little bit of blue thread locker. A little grease on the middle one as well. I don't even know whether you can see that or not. Can you see that? Can you see it? Yeah, got to put a little grease on the middle one as well. And so back up. Back up. Got our in place. There it is. All right. And then there's leave him on there because there's a spec for this. Whipping out the book here. The brake caliper rear guide pin bolts is 31 foot-pounds. There. Alrighty. Alright, 31 foot-pounds. Got sleeve back where it belongs. Alright, so 31 foot-pounds, get the sleeve back where it belongs. The one on the bottom I never messed with, but that one wasn't torque to sport. That one was not torque to spec, so. And then all that's left is the banjo bolt. Yeah, he's an 11. All right. Don't forget copper. Don't use stainless steel. If you got this kit from our good friends at Russell. Well, here's 30 foot-pounds right here. Maybe 30 foot-pounds. And this is the one you definitely do not want to go over on. 30 foot-pounds. There she is. Stainless steel brake lines. Did the calipers, did the pads, did the rotors. I'm going to do some bleeding tomorrow. I'm not sure whether I'll videotape that or not, but we'll see what we see. Okay, so much has happened since the last time I videoed. I was not able to video the bleeding of the brakes because it is 10 degrees outside, and my help was in a hurry to get back inside. So there's a lot of videos on bleeding brakes. There are a ton of videos about bleeding brakes on YouTube. So anyhow, so I took them out for a test drive and took them through the procedure. They want you to go from, I think, 45 miles per hour to 10 miles per hour 5 times without them getting cool, and then I think 35 to 5. And then I drove around for another 10 minutes to let everything cool off. I always like to say that I'm the guy that teaches you how to do stuff by not showing you how to do, but what not to do. And in my infinite wisdom, when I was bleeding my brakes, I accidentally let the reservoir run out of fluid. So I've fully bled the brakes, but they're still spongy. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bench bleed of my master cylinder, and hopefully that will be my problem, because still have spongy brakes.